So can you take us through your life journey?
Well, you know, I have a very simple story.
Yes.
I was a young man who doesn't know when he started singing because it has always been part of my life. In all schools I went to, I was either the entertainment prefect, the conductor in charge, the DJ in school. So it was, needless to say, I was going to become who I am now.
Yes.
However, being an artist, recording professionally and becoming a performing artist started after I finished senior six, because the vacation after senior six is quite some time where a youthful person will always find something to do with their lives. And for me, I decided to indulge in the music. That was in 1998. After that, then it took for me 2 years, 2 to 3 years to become actually a household name. And I was very, I'm glad that I made it to a household name in the whole of Uganda or East Africa, because I got to perform everywhere.
Okay.
And the music industry wasn't that developed then. So at some point I had to leave the country. And I think it's what so many people do. With your life, if you have opportunities, you try to look for greener pastures in other places. So I left the country and I went to the United States of America, where I spent 10 years. And basically that is roughly what my life has been.
Okay.
Yes.
So can you tell us how was it that side when you left?
It was very different because, like I said, I lived my whole childhood psychologically knowing I'm a star.
Okay.
So when the dream came true, I indeed became a star. You know, everyone knew me, all the girls, all the youth, and it was interesting.
You know?
I was getting free hugs everywhere,
Yeah.
free money, free drinks. And then leaving the country, I was in a place where I had to look for a job. And I'd never dreamt of looking for a job anywhere.
Yeah.
To look for a job, started working in a factory, making screwdrivers.
Wow.
But being an open-minded person, I always knew there was tomorrow. So I worked very hard, and in every job I did, I was very hardworking. But life was not the same because psychological and mental and everything, I knew I'm supposed to be a star.
Okay.
So I enjoyed and I got used to walking around and everyone knows you. Free everything, but this is a place where no one knew you. You had to start everything from scratch, work every day for every dollar to make a living. So it humbled me a bit, and that was in Pennsylvania. Then I moved to New York, where I worked again. All these jobs I worked and I did everything I was supposed to do. But then it started eating me up slowly. I worked for car rentals, I worked for a music store, I worked for a designer, and especially the designer guy, he has been designing ever since he was young, and he understood me as an artist. So he kept on saying, I know something you're missing in your life, and I wish one day you'll get to doing what you want to do, even though he was employing me, but he could tell. So one day I asked him, why do you work so hard? Because I go to work at 5. I mean, at 9 to 5, he goes to work from 7 to 7. He said, I work so hard, but guess what? I've never worked a day in my life. I said, why? Because he said, Omana, because I'm doing everything I feel like doing. It's what exactly I feel like doing, so I'm not even working. So it made me feel so jealous, but he sat me down and said, you know what? I pray one day you do the same.
Okay.
So these are things that I had a very good life in New York. I had good jobs, nice, I was blessed. Only that naturally I was being eaten up every day. I go back to my house, I have a studio, I have a video suit because I trained as a videographer. I went to a certificate school, so I did video jobs for 8 years. As I talk right now, I'm a videographer too. So everything was eating me up because I grew up in school knowing I'm a creative head.
Yeah.
So finally I decided to pack my bags and leave and come back home and see if the dream I left behind would still work. Roughly, that's my story.
Okay.
And it's been about 5-6 years of trying to put my foot to the ground. Right now I do t-shirts. By the way, this is one of the t-shirts I do.
I see.
I've been trying to put my foot to the ground, but finally, I think God blesses the hands at work. Yes, so I see things coming back now.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do you see yourself in the next 5 years, let's say? What's your plan?
Honestly, in the next 5 years, hopefully I will have covered Africa musically.
Wow.
Hopefully I can have a couple of shows in the UK, in the US, go back then. And hopefully I can open up avenues through which younger artists can also grow, because growing up during our time, no one was ahead of us to actually pull us up.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, up to this age, I don't think we Northerners or Acholis invest much into creative art, but I want to change that in the future.
Yeah.
So hopefully, yeah, things will change then. And 5 years is a very short time, by the way. But these are lifetime dreams,
Yeah,
and I hope
lifetime dreams,
things will work out.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You talk of hard work. You know, I believe that that's one of the motivations, like it's a motivation that is pushing you towards what you want to do.
Yes,
Like,
I think part of the blessing I feel like I have is I worked in the US for 10 years. And if you're privy to what happens at jobs in those outside countries, that explains why the first world is that once it's time to work, you work. So I think if I was working for someone 8, 10, 12 hours every day, can I do that for myself? I says yes. So basically, I'm using the natural experience that I got in life to try and push myself for my own stuff.
Yeah.
I'm an artist. Usually companies would have you to endorse their stuff, right?
Yeah.
But if I can use that power to endorse my own stuff, like t-shirts I have, then hopefully God will bless me.
Wow. Okay. Tempra, do you have any message that you would like to send to the young people out there? Because I believe that there's so many of them that they really look forward, look towards you. They want to be like you. They want to, be a star. Yeah, as you said, what motivated you is to become a star one day, and that kept you going to become what you wanted to be.
Yes,
so, what message do you have?
Stay off drugs. You hear me? Anyway, the very first message is just that: stay off drugs.
Yeah, stay off.
Just work hard. Stay off drugs.
Why?
Because drugs let you live a virtual life. It's not the reality. If you have, if your mind is influenced by alcohol or all these narcotics or drugs, even if you had to pay rent the next day, you just go and chill and sleep. But when you wake up, rent is still to be paid.
Okay.
So basically, I'm saying, get real, know who you are, gauge your powers, gauge your surroundings, the necessity, what is needed by the people around you that you can do. Don't overdream of being someone you're not. Let it come from the powers inside you. I hear so many girls saying, Beyonce is my role model.
Yeah.
Beyonce had a whole different history that shaped her into who she is.
Today.
I can't come from KO or Gulu Town and I say Jay-Z is my role model. No, Jay-Z went through the projects and the drugs and all that. So look at realistic role models and try and shoot that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to get this from you. Most times out there people say, oh, artists, because a lot of young people out there, some of them, they have dreams of becoming artists and all that. And then those parents who always say, no, artists, for you to go into music industry, it's just for dropouts, it's not something very important, you can't do that, you have to be a lawyer, a doctor, and something like that. what's your opinion about it to the
My
parents
opinion
and people?
is very simple. I'm very proud of the family I came from,
Yeah.
because they allowed me to do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And I do think that's a very old mindset where because your dad was a doctor, you have to be a doctor, or your grandpapa was a police. Everyone has a gift in themselves,
Yeah.
and their abilities measured differently. So if I wake up one day and I want to be a lawyer and my dad was a policeman, I should be allowed to do so.
Yeah.
Because many parents, and I've seen this in Uganda, they force their daughters into law or into something else. Later on they get out, especially in Uganda, jobs are not automatic.
Yeah, it's true.
So many people are indirectly unemployed, but you find he studied law and he's doing business. Now, if he was to do the business school, because that is what he felt his gift was, how good could that be? So my message is clear. We're very different. We're gifted differently, and we should just support each other on the different.
That's all. It was nice interviewing you, Tempra. Thank you so much.
Say that again, so
Yes.
with